So this is a training video for the Port Express Manifest app. First thing you need to do is download the app. You can download it from Play Store, App Store, on any ISO device or Android. Once you've downloaded it, if you open up the app and then log in using the login details you've been given by the office. Okay, once you're logged in, you'll see this screen. The only thing to do from this screen is open up the menu, which is by clicking the three bars on the top left. Okay, so I'll just go through this menu a little bit. At the top you can see who's logged in and you can see what vehicle they're assigned to. Then next to those you've got the little traffic light system. Red is cancelled jobs, yellow is new jobs that you need to acknowledge, and green is your current and completed jobs. Then going through this screen, you've got My Diary, which will be your main option you'll go into on a daily basis. Then a bit further down you've got Amendments. That's how you acknowledge a new job, which we'll come to those in a minute. Then further down, you don't need to worry about any of the options in Tools. In Settings, there's two options you use in there, is the change vehicles. So if you drive a different vehicle for the day, you need to go in and tell the app that you're driving a different vehicle to your normal one. And the other one is Account, which is log out. Okay, so as you can see, a job's just dropped through, so we'll come back to that in a second. Let's go back to the menu. So Accounts, that's how you log out of the app, okay, with the log out button at the bottom there. I would suggest you try and log out at least once a week. It just keeps everything working on the app correctly. So go back to that job that's just bleeped in. If a job bleeps in like that, you need to go to Amendments. So that's the job that's just come through. There might be more than one job in here. So to view the job in full, you have to click on the address line. Okay, this is the full details of the job, just the same as the PODs we hand out if we hand out a paper copy. Okay, so just going through, you've got all the information you'll need here. You've got container number, then you've got this release reference. That's your PIN number on an import, or the reference to get an empty box out of a depot on an export. And you've got your container size, the latest status. We'll come back to that in a minute because that's the other side of the app, what you have to when you're updating the progress of the job. Then you've got your addresses, your collection address and your delivery address. The date, there's a date and time in collection address and delivery address. They'll always be exactly the same. That's the time you have to be at your customer. Then a little bit further down you've got the map. It shows you roughly where in the country you're going to. You can click on that map and it will go full screen, and then you can zoom in and have a look at where your customer is you're delivering to. Then below the map is your VBS details. So you've got VBS, your time of your VBS, and then the ports in which order you're going to. Then further down you've got your weight, and then right at the bottom, the last one, which is quite an important one, is the instructions. So any special instructions for the jobs will be in there, load references or any contact numbers to call, any specific routes you need to take. So make sure you always check that. So once you've gone through all these details and you're happy with them, you know where you've got to be at what time and what time VBS you've got, you come back out by using the arrow at the top left. You can see there's a button at the bottom to acknowledge. Before you can hit that, you need to put a tick in the box, okay? Because there might be more than one job here and you might not want to acknowledge them all at once. So once you've put a tick in the box, you hit acknowledge and the job disappears out of the amendment screen. So now if we go to the menu button, we've got 0 in the yellow, so we know we've got no new jobs in to acknowledge, and we've got 1 in green, so we know we've got 1 current job. So we now go to My Diary. You can see because this is a demo, I've only got one job in, but you would have lots of jobs on each day, so it would just have a green with a number next to it of however many jobs you got on that day. So to go into that day, so we'll go into the day with the job on. This is the job. Again, this is where you'd see how many jobs you've got, so you need to click on the job again to go down into it. Okay, and this is where you update the progress of the job. So you can see a button at the bottom that says progress job. Okay, so at the top you've got the green box, and then next to that you've got outstanding. You've got outstanding. That's the current status of the job because we haven't updated anything on it yet. So if we tick in the box and then hit progress job, it takes us to change status screen. So we want to change the status of this job from outstanding. So the bar along the top that's slightly separate from the rest of it, the white bar, if we click on that, that comes up with the options of what we can select. So we've got picked up, arrived on site, and delivered/collected. Okay, so the first one we want to do is when you pick a box up off the key, we want you to go in and mark it as picked up. At that point, the button at the bottom will change to trailer allocation. Select that. Would you like to allocate a trailer to this load? We always want you to click yes and select a trailer. You click on that and it will give you a list of our trailers. Okay, pick your trailer and save. Okay, completed. You know it's gone through. The last check on that, just to check that it's gone through correctly, is if you look back up at the top right there, you can see it now says picked up. So whatever it says there is what it's at. So if it's not saying what you want it to say, you need to go through and do it again. Once you've then driven to your customer and you're on site, first thing to do as soon as you arrive at that address is go in and mark it as arrived on site. So, but to do that, we tick in the box again, progress job, tick in the bar at the top and arrived on site. Okay, we would now see we've selected it, we're going to change it to arrived on site. It still says current status picked up, so when we hit save, that changes to arrived on site. Hit OK and just check that it says arrived on site at the top. Then once you've finished tipping, you go back into the app, tick in the box again, progress the job, tick in the drop down box and hit deliver/collected. Okay, and then the button at the bottom changes to proof of delivery. So this is where we go to get a signature by the customer. So proof by, we ask for their name, in the comments they can write whatever they want. That's for the customer to write if they want to clause the POD, so load unchecked, for instance. Okay, if the customer wants a copy of the POD, they can put their email address in there. It won't send it over automatically, but once you've had it signed, call into your operator and ask them to send a copy of the POD over to the customer. If the customer refuses and doesn't want to use the app and wants a paper copy, then fill out a blank copy of our POD, get them to sign that, ask them if they'll sign the app as well. If they won't, then sign it yourself and write in the comments, customer refused to sign. Once you've got a paper copy signed, down at the bottom of this screen you can see proof documents. If you click on that, it takes you through and you can take a photo of the document you've just had signed so that it's all on the system digitally as well. Once you've done that, last thing to do is in the signature bit where it says tap to sign, tap in there and get the customer to sign it. And then save. Once you come back out to this screen, it says on the screen, 1 completed and hidden job. If you've got other jobs, it just neatens it up. It hides that job away and it would show the rest of the jobs you've got for that day. You can get the jobs back if you need to get information off that job. You can get them back by clicking the little eye at the top with the line through it, and that will then display the job, and you can then go back into the job to view the details.